Welcome back. This is the Monday edition of the nation's most favorite breakfast show, Good Morning Namibia. Now, as digital platforms continue to redefine storytelling and influence worldwide, content creation has become a powerful avenue for young people to express themselves, build careers, and place their countries on the global map. In Namibia, the creative digital space is steadily growing, with local creators increasingly gaining international attention. Recently, Namibia found itself in the global spotlight following the visit of international content creator IShowSpeed, with several local creators playing a role in shaping and documenting that experience online. Joining us this morning is creative entrepreneur Nahenda Matheus, popularly known as Nahenda, to discuss content creation opportunities in Namibia, her involvement during IShowSpeed's visit, and what global digital exposure means for our country. Morning, Nahenda, and welcome to Good Morning Namibia.
Good morning.
How are you doing on this gift of a Monday?
I'm good. Oh, beginning of the week, it's always, you have to lean into it, but I'm good.
You are leaning into it.
I'm almost there.
Yes.
Yes.
So for the viewers who may not yet be familiar with you, please tell us who Nahenda is.
Well, my name is Nahenda Matheus, popularly known as Nahenda. Oh, I'm stealing that.
I love the popular known as. Yeah,
Yes.
You're owning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, leaning into it.
Yes. So I am a content producer, art director. I started with long-form content. I started in film. So back in primary school, high school, we were doing short films. Got into the industry of filming. Eventually got into music videos, working behind the music videos. So the content became shorter. And then I got into TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. So now I'm a content creator.
Lovely.
Yes.
Lovely. Now, content creation is often misunderstood, particularly by us elderly folks, right? Speak to us about what content creation is for those who don't understand it, who are tuned in at the moment.
Yeah. So there's two sides. There's the monetization side, which we all need, which we need to have a discussion of as Namibians. But there's also just the narrative and owning your story side. Content creation is in owning your story. So you create a Facebook page or a TikTok page, and you start to document yourself. You take people as you go. It's called vlogging, where you just take people on your day, for example. You film yourself, what time you woke up, what you're doing for the day.
Not curated, or is there an element of curation?
There's always an element of curation, because social media is all about putting your best foot forward. I mean, some people do like to share everything, but others mostly is putting your best foot forward. So there's always an element of curation. So it's about really being artistic about how you want to express yourself on social media. Yeah.
You touched on the element of monetization, commercialization of it. Let's speak about content creation as a viable career path, particularly within the Namibian context. Which are the opportunities that exist?
There's a lot of opportunities, but also the industry is it's still very at its infant stage. So really, we are still looking at what opportunities are there for content creators. We have a lot of content creators that are creating content on social media, but we don't necessarily have a lot of them monetized. In terms of YouTube, for example, we have a lot of not a lot, we need more. We're gonna need a lot more to say we have a lot of YouTubers, we have a lot of TikTokers, but the element of monetization is still really a discussion, especially for the Namibian market. The Namibian market is really still at its infant stage. I don't know if the people in the offices don't understand what content creating is and what influencing is, but there's still that gap. So the opportunities are available. Slowly we are looking at influencers getting campaigns. We are looking at YouTubers getting campaigns. So that's a way of monetization in Namibia, because YouTube, unfortunately, is not paying as much as other countries are paying Namibians because of AdSense and things. It gets tricky. It's a lot of things involved, but we are getting there. So opportunities are there, but also opportunities are not only in Namibia alone when you're on social media. They are also on the African continent. So right now we are looking at the African continent growing, and that's how Namibian content creators can also tap into that audience. And then that's how you get to sort of get campaigns from elsewhere, but not Namibia alone. So the opportunities are there in terms of getting campaigns to work on. Or
What are
being
these
media
campaigns that you're talking about? And pardon my ignorance. What would be a campaign, and how lucrative are these campaigns?
A campaign is usually a brand. Let me make an
NBC.
example. Yeah, let me say NBC has a Say No to Bullying campaign. And there's a prominent content creator on social media that's always talking about bullying. And you take them on and you say, yo, can you be our spokesperson for this campaign? And they create content around the campaign, around bullying. Just NBC and the content creators sit down and they have a discussion of how they're going to go about. And there's also a monetization or money involved in doing that, because I'm now bringing you onto my audience on my platform. And that's how I get to sort of gain. So it's campaigns, but it can also be brand ambassadorships where you can have a clothing line, for example. Maybe a Steve Madden in South Africa wants to tap into the Namibian audience. They are looking for a Namibian fashion influencer or content creator that sort of creates content for fashion. And they choose that person to say, can you, since you have a Namibian audience, can you be responsible for marketing our new collections into the Namibian market?
And here are your cute coins.
And here are your cute
for
coins.
those services.
For those services.
Yeah. What's the difference between that and an activation?
Activation is tapping into marketing and advertising. So activation is definitely a marketing person's job. So is content creating, but content creating is more digital. So we call it the digital space. It's on the internet. So activation is on the ground, it's marketing. You get your company people, or usually company people are the ones that are doing your activation, or maybe you have a service that you render out from another company that does activations. But online, the content creator or influencer does not necessarily belong to your company. You are sort of trying to tap into their audience. Yeah.
IShowSpeed, one of the biggest content creators
Yes.
of the planet at the moment,
Yes.
visited this country
Yes.
a few days ago.
Unbelievable.
Speak to us about that.
What an experience, eh? I got the opportunity to work on the streaming production from a company called Global Namibia One. I had initially done work with them. Well, I do a lot of international productions. So we had recently wrapped up a production where we brought 17 Miss Worlds in Namibia.
Wow.
We actually had 17 Miss Worlds from all around the world in Namibia.
Did you keep it a secret?
No. We had documented everything. We took them on an 11-day trip around Namibia, everywhere in the desert, wherever. And that's how, when we completed that project, that's how we also got the IShowSpeed to say, IShowSpeed is also coming to Namibia. Can you guys tap onto the team? And we got into the team. We were responsible for so for IShowSpeed stream, there is always locations. So, for example, went to the Himba village. That's a location. Her name is Beauty. She did such a great job into tour guiding him and sort of showing him around. And then we went to the Sand People. There was a tour guide there. So we were sort of responsible for the locations to find talent that's able to sort of show speed around on the stream. So that's what we were responsible for, into sort of making it really. So we sat down with the content creator. For example, for the single quarters, there was Zulu Boy. He's a Namibian content creator, creative entrepreneur. And we sat down and we're like, how can we show IShowSpeed what single quarters is about, how a visit to single quarters looks like. And then we said, creative freedom, let's see what you come up with. And we gave him creative freedom, and he showed IShowSpeed how to eat kapana, how to make salsa, there was a lot. So just to make the stream very exciting. Look planned, but unplanned.
Yeah, curated but not curated.
Curated but not curated.
What did this mean for our country?
Oh, that's a good question, because we had a sit down with the producer of the African tour after the stream was done, and really we also asked him that, how does it look for the Namibian? So really it's about travel and tourism. IShowSpeed, I don't know if he had intentionally known what he was doing for the African continent when he came to travel Africa, but really he changed a narrative. For so long, we Africans didn't have our own narrative of what Africa looks like. It's just we are developing countries, we are third world countries, and that's how it looks like to the rest of the world. But what does it mean? So when he came here and he went to all the countries that he went to, he really had an opportunity made an opportunity for us to show ourselves of who we are when it comes to the people, when it comes to the travel destinations that there is. So really, it means that Africa is next, or not next. We are here. The fact that...
And the time is now.
The time is now.
Yeah.
And the fact that he chose to say, let me go to 20 African countries with his global audience that he has, surely he believed that the African continent is where it's at, so he needs to tap into that audience. So yeah, it means that Namibia is doing great for themselves, but also we have it also opened my eyes on a lot of things that, we need to work on in terms of travel and tourism. But yeah, it means we're here. The content creators are recognized.
Yes,
Yeah.
well done. How do we leverage that? How do we ensure that we maintain the momentum and we don't lose that?
In terms of travel and tourism, really, because that's what we thought that he's coming to do here, we need to look into how can we leverage off of what we have. One of the most conversations that we as a youth have is, what are we doing with the desert, guys? The history behind the desert, but like a streamer like IShowSpeed, we take him to the desert and we tell him about the history. He'll be like, that's it? He's going to be. So we need some sort of evolution. What experiences can we create for Namibia so that when the world is looking, they want to come back for those experiences? Because right now, and it's not a bad thing at all, our tourism space is doing really good for itself. But also there's a time where anybody that comes here has the history behind the oldest desert in the world, and this is Dead Flay, and they know the specs of what our travel destinations are about, but there's no experiences now. Now it's into looking at what experiences, but also very much popular to Namibia, to showcase Namibian stories and Namibian experience will look like in terms of like leveraging on a desert. What experiences can we put there? But also leveraging on our cultures, because IShowSpeed, the highlight of his, and he says it, the highlight of his stream was the Overhimba people, the San people visits. What can we do in terms of promoting all of that to the rest of the world? So it's really looking into those things to see how then can Namibia sort of keep the momentum going.
Of course, a lot happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
A lot of it is not told to the world, and we don't expect you to share those secrets. But reflecting on the visit and reflecting on the great work that you and the team did do, what is it that you would have tweaked in hindsight?
Interesting. That's
Which were the key lessons that you learned from this experience?
I think the key lessons, first of all, we really doubted the Namibian nation, because when we were having a meeting with his team, we were like, wait, look, Namibia we are as big as Nigeria in land, but we are 3 million. So don't expect the audience that have been showing up in West Africa, because he came from West Africa where the audience is a lot of people. So
just manage your expectations a bit.
So like really when he came here, we were like, don't expect so much audience. And then the stream happens and there's a lot of people that showed up. So we really, in terms of that, we really were a little bit taken aback, but also with the compliance conversation that's going on, it's a here then or there in terms of should we bend our rules, should we not, but also really it's looking into youth empowerment, because if IShowSpeed, and he made it an effort to come here, like it was a personal thing for him to come here, because one would have said, I'm not coming, and that's it. But he said, West Africa, back to Southern Africa.
Yes.
That's crazy. So, like, really, it's in terms of youth empowerment. We should really prioritize youth empowerment, because we do have streamers. Surprisingly, we do have streamers here in Namibia that were looking forward to him coming. We have a lot of people that really were looking forward to him coming. We have young YouTubers. And yes, you will say the audience of IShowSpeed is young, But the audience of IShowSpeed is the next investors, so it's long-term investment.
Thank you so much for those precious
Yeah.
insights. Thank you for the great work that you and the team did. And we hope more of these opportunities are given birth to for Namibians and for content creation, and that you can monetize
Yeah.
on your work.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
thank you.